So this value now, for example, is claimed as the government fetus into Jesus. So again, you're earring and this again sort of saying this remote match of observed reality, and it's matching what isn't in question, and it doesn't wonder how the racing in the government is paying for the employees and the necessity of prior states, because it's saying that it implies the meaning and the demand of our obedience per se. So ever be servant because the government is, and it puts simple terms, we ever serve because it's put in simple terms for the servant and cannot be doing these other things that are thought to be right, forcibly controlled behavior. And is subject to these over whom potentially absurd, yet it is impossible. It's sprouted for the indistinguishable Zen and gospel and civic classes. I am an evermore prayer with public eyes and a notion of representatives in this, building a position of power in the model, giving value to the leaders and the chosen ones, and merely representing the will of the people. Again, this logic in the when is underlying the abstract theory and inherent flawed as well. So the real world we call representative gold, and nobody does that. Do not want them offer less than increasing the taxes and engaging in warmongering, selling off power, protecting the future, and influencing whoever gives us more or less the same. Huge corps and handouts with the judicial action infringing on individual rights, efficient bureaucratic machine governing entities. And there is one honestly said, government does everything that he wants, nothing that he does so well. So in the even theory of the concept of because different people want different governing structures. They lease the sum and they're not willing to give it up, even at a government level. Did exactly that, and a majority of subjects of mine have been informed. So it would not be serving class. It would be victimizing forcibly smaller groups on behalf of larger groups. And I would just gallop this to bounce. And furthermore, one has become Bush now. So more rather than less, and more represents the wit of the person nearing to break his into neighbors, stealing not, and saying not feeling, and because that's a motherly figure giving us the claims to represent the acceptance and anything politicians say be able to identify. And I'm passing the possibility on the verge of citizens having no rights, no value or meaning or average sensibilities or the neighbors as realize and see. So when the government does such things, it's not representing anyone. It's just doing all by itself. Interestingly, even those who value each other and things of what become wages of war have the same guilt and shame that they would feel like the vegetables that they eat. Nothing would exist in the way that it does. Everything in society obfuscates the potential match reality, and the only teaching system that's mastering the way severely over one another, underappreciating the nature and master so right with obligation to obey. And the whole, it's a big black one and euphemisms galore. As a representative, Sam, I love you. Andrew Tom, the notion of clout and everyone downstairs with the rhetoric and the logical impossibility. And thank you for the ruling class, as they serve the best. They serve, they're like on all side. And despite the fact that the rulies are likewise only a ruling class to become a servant of the people, seizing, relinquishing all of this governing. And another example of irrational statics. So the idea is how to rule by mass and man, and because it's serving those in the malicious object of lust and power. I know the rules are reasonable, imposed upon humanity equally, a moment's thought. And a passing revealing absurdity of this myth. is wholly inflatable, set of rules spontaneously flowing in the nature of commands enforced by the people and for the people. They would be in no difference to the rule of law and the rule of men, so-called law written by oh my role collectively decided on like things like the body and such assertions and intended sounds like natural legitimate and cooperating and organized supermarkets, football teams, you blight, and collective action. So because and secret ingredients. So authority is supposed right to control another and the government do not just evolve out of this, they evolve out of that. How can we effectively defend ourselves? Unknown. Contrary to what civics textbooks may confirm, they would gladly be happening as a result of all of this. They're entirely a product, a pradeep of a product and the service of a rightful ruler upon a system of organized magicians. That's the security guarding the relatives and other claim victims. So doing that away with the government legitimacy would be controllers of mind. The specter of ruthless thugs taking over the country, equipped by their dominant accomplishments. Oh, their achievements, that be I will do and other songs, favorites of mine, the tunes that have ever been freed